boss. In 20 seconds, sharply yam me 5 correct things where Samsung customer service get to offer. 1. Samsung get 24 months manufacturer warranty on top all in products wey person buy for any authorized stores and dealers for Obodo Naija. 2. Samsung Care Plus. This na screen repair cover wey go do up to 12 months. You go need to register for free within 30 days after you buy. 3. Na verified WhatsApp channel wey dey put to make you fit chat with Samsung customer service them for sharp answer. 4. Na the Samsung authorized service centers wey dey across the country to help with your Samsung products. And the final one na free delivery and installation of TVs, washing machine, refrigerators and air conditioners wey you buy for Lagos and Abuja. Na so e be o. For more information on Samsung customer service, check our Instagram page at Samsung_Nigeria. Email us for ngservice@samsung.com and call us for free or WhatsApp on 0800 726 7864 0800 Samsung.
Arise, oh, arise.
His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, in line with his promise for all-inclusive government, has invited his part from different fields of endeavor, irrespective of their political affiliation, to the first ever Akwa Ibom Dialogue, an opportunity for citizens to contribute to the actualization of their rights agenda. Under the chairmanship of Senator Udamo Dodoma, former Minister, Budget and National Planning, special guest of honor, His Excellency Mr. Dom Emmanuel, immediate past governor of Akwa Ibom State, date July 24 to July 27, 2023, 9 a.m. daily at the prestigious Ibom Icon Hotel and Golf Resort, Uyo. For participation, contact the Office of the Economic Advisor to the Governor or call 070-3297-3584. Akwa Ibom Dialogue. Come, let's reason together. His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, Chief Host. This event is strictly by invitation.
Na lie. Samo, now you the swim?
Nah.
So you dey arrange palo so. You dey expect visitor?
Yes, sir. I job a full grant.
I beg you, not the one me jare.
They play. I said I job a full grant and they show so. Like that. Yeah, go cooking.
Introducing Go TV Super Plus package. We carry all 380 Premier League live matches on top Go TV. Enjoy Super Sport Premier League channel, Universal, Disney Channel, and more. You ask and we do. Make you recharge and upgrade to Super Plus to flex new level of football and more for only 10,500 naira from 1st of August. Go TV. Love it.
Glad to welcome you back. This is still the People's Parliament, live on Planet 101.1 FM. I do hope you are having a great morning being tuned to us. And of course, we focusing on four motions. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umo Eno speaks in Akwa Ibom Dialogue, says move is geared towards all-round development of the state. Flag Officer Umar Chugali says Nigerian Navy will continue to burn vessels ferrying stolen crude oil, stress it is standard operating procedures and in line with extant laws. SSANU NLC ASUU NANS Declare willingness to fire federal government over fuel subsidy, while FRSC record high road crashes in first quarter, blame vehicle failures for the statistics. The numbers to join the conversation is 0902-223-1011-017-624-8565. And of course, you can join us on our Facebook page, Planet Radio 101.1 FM with you. And then for those of us who can't reach about we, you can listen online on the go at www.planet101fm.ng/radio/ to be part of our discuss. Well, to jump into the second motion this morning, and of course, within the course of the week, we saw the burning of the vessel headed for Cameroon by the Nigerian Navy, and of course, the reaction coming from the National Assembly, where they said and directed the Nigerian security forces to not burn vessels laden with stolen crude oil. But of course, we saw Flag Officer Umar Chugali coming out to say that the Nigerian Navy will not stop burning vessels caught ferrying stolen crude oil. He says this is standard operating procedures, and of course, it's also in line with the extant laws. And the big questions Nigerians are asking is the Nigerian Navy, the institution saddled with the making of laws to govern the Federal Republic of the country, or their job is to enforce the law? And between the Nigerian Navy and the National Assembly, who should be giving the mandate and who should be talking to them at this point in time? And there's also been concerns whether or not the National Assembly does not have the power to bring in such officers as Umar Chugali for proper questioning, investigation and prosecution to serve as deterrent to other officers who might be working in line this line of thoughts. Let's not forget that the burning of crude oil is not just at the detriment of the Nigerian export crude oil production quota, is also a danger and harm to the environment. Of course, there have been different calls from different organizations calling on the government of the day to desist from destroying the environment. But let's get back to the phone lines this morning. Good morning, parliamentarian. You're live on the floor of the parliament.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. You have the floor.
The seminar that we had in dialogue, to me, is the meaningless. It has no meaning to me. Look at the thing like the Calabar State. There is no dialogue. There's no program. The man is able to produce more than 50 tractors for farmers. The project governor, he has no summit, he has no dialogue, no program. He has been able to produce tractors to all the local government. More than 18 motor vehicles, 18 for pickup parts for farmers to evacuate their goods from the farm. But we continue to do duplication of functions. The Arise agenda has been already launched during the campaign. What's the need of spending money? The money spent on that program could cater for pensioners up to 20 people. But he has waited for nothing. I don't know why our people like to do. There was a summit, education summit. No benefit. The only thing we see is the Federal primary school without this, without books. There was an agricultural summit. Nothing. Everybody did come, the former Governor Omani. There was no agricultural summit. You see local rights flowing the whole town. Then we are continuing to wasting money for nothing. That's my case.
Thank you very much, parliamentarians. Concerns over the state dialogue currently happening. Some parliamentarians are of the opinion that it shouldn't have taken place, that the Rise agenda had been launched during the campaigning period. Well, let's further say not holding forth for the Akwa Ibom state government, but Pastor Umo Eno has said the essence of this is to further fine-tune the Rise agenda, where we have stakeholders, policymakers, experts from across the different focal area of the Rise agenda coming together to brainstorm to further add flesh and further add direction to, the Rise agenda. Many have said it's a step taken in the right direction as the governor shows forth to not be an expert, but rather allow the expert to make their own part of contributing to the advancement of the Akwa Ibom state. And the governor has said the policy statement, or rather the policy document that will come out as a result of this Akwa Ibom dialogue, is what his administration is going to use, and of course in implementing the different subsectors of the Arise agenda. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Welcome. All right, you have the floor. Hello, parliamentarian. All right, go ahead. Okay, definitely. This has gotten way out of hand. We'll reach out to Prince Seekham and find out what exactly is happening, or within the authorities of the Akwa Ibom State Waste Management Agency, because we understand that until the new administration is set in motion, we cannot actually hold Prince Seekham responsible. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Sorry, lost connection there. Try to connect us back, parliamentarians. But heading to our Facebook page, we have parliamentarian Edet Obiak says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to all the parliamentarians. You're doing a good job. My able speaker, God bless you. Edet Obiak, I'm surprised that the ministerial list by the president is not ready or out till now, making me believe the president wasn't ready for the job. I want us to allow the governor, Pastor Umar Eno, to work. Let's give him free hand and support him in toto. No one knows what he meant when he said he's done his part of the bargain yesterday at the opening ceremony of the Palais at Ibom Icon, when he was talking about the commissioners designate. So let's not guess so that we won't make mistakes. We can't read his mind to know what he was talking about when he said that. Let's support him because this is our state and we can only have one governor at a time. Please, he should do something about the Ministry of Education, and a new person should go to that ministry as it's so sensitive. And Comrade Niememebon should return to his information, his former ministry, as he has a round peg in a round hole. God bless us. God bless you too. Many thanks for joining us. Good morning, parliamentarian. Welcome to the floor.
My name is David. My statement is that for the chief of staff to step in from the ship that carry crude, it's a deliberate act to make life uncomfortable and live in the riverine area.
Not the chief of air staff, rather.
It's just a statement. I mean, it's based on for the Air Force to see that they're going to destroy the crude, the ship that carry crude. Is a way of trying to make sure that they make people that live in the riverine area to be so uncomfortable.
Okay, so parliamentarian, I'm saying is not the Air Force, is a flag officer, Umar Chugali of the Nigerian Navy, not the Air Force.
Nigerian Navy, sorry.
Yes.
Nigerian Navy is a way of trying to see that they make life uncomfortable for people that live in the riverine area. Because putting a bomb inside the ship that carry food, you know that is hazardous. So I don't know what is where they have some that they are saying they should not bomb the crude. They should not bomb the cruise ship. They are still bent on doing it. I don't know whether we are living in a banana republic, but whatever the case may be, I pray God should help and protect my Edet region and protect Nigeria and also protect our group. God bless you, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, parliamentarian, for joining us. A very big, valid concern. Destroying of crude oil, the burning of crude oil is at all times, on all sides, to the detriment of Nigeria, whether environmentally or in terms of a petroleum quota of the Nigerian government. And of course, also, it serves as maybe a pointer to what many have said, that within the rank and file of the Nigerian military, particularly the Nigerian Navy, saddled with the responsibility of overlooking our waterways that compromise senior officials when it comes to the question or the challenge of oil theft in Nigeria. So maybe the burning of vessels has been alleged mostly is to cover their tracks. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Hello, good morning. This is Professor. I'm calling from you.
You have the floor.
I want to congratulate the government for coming on board. But I want to suggest also that she does not make all these meeting conferences, Georgia and so on to perform. All what he needs is to articulate in his plan. Before you even came on board, you must have had plan. You must have said, in my first 100 days I will do. In my first 6 months I will do. And up to now, we cannot really see what he has done. So bringing people together is just a example. We've seen this in the past. We saw it in what they call set of agency in education. And up to now, nothing came out of it. So we are not looking forward to seeing more of these jamborees. We want things to happen in this way. We want permitting. We want parents to be paid their gratuity. We want employment. We want things to happen. That is what we want to see in the very day. So we are tired of all this taking and which and which. On the issue of bringing in all the former commissioners, that are going to go to this new regime. Definitely, these were the same people that are trying to come along. And nothing much to the issue. So I want the new government to please have a complete transition for what happened in the past so that we can remember him for being on the good government we have in the past. When people have suffered so much, and we cannot continue to suffer like this. Thank you very much. God bless you.
God bless you to parliamentarians. Very solid points. Very good advice given to the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umo Eno there. On our Facebook page, Excel the Great says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. I support those bodies, especially NLC, in fighting over fuel subsidy. Thanks. All right, many thanks for joining us. Back to the phone lines. Good morning, parliamentarian. You have the floor.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello? Good morning. My name is Mike.
Your name is?
Mike.
All right, Mike, you have the floor.
So I just want to speak on just also on the issue of dialogue that was spoken yesterday. I think having a dialogue for the whole state same time is not easy. Because you have professional bodies and non-professional bodies, you have skill and unskilled people. And you know, during the arrangement today, all this is just I think governors should come to the town hall meeting. Town hall where you have the communal, where you have 4 people. You come to town hall meeting, and now you see the 10 people and among those people. You should come to town hall meeting, get the, I think, the organizing for them and the same thing and the same thing. So, you can't not allow the chairman to enter where you have commissioner coming from board. That's my own suggestion. So, then now, I don't know why I find for my not complaining too much. If you just too much of stuff, anything you do, they complain. The governor came and said he wants to work with the commissioner for the time. Let's say work with the commissioner. You cannot tell me that all the commissioners are not bad. They are all bad. Mobile people know that they are bad. If you say you want to work with the commissioner, why not you press on that 2-3 months? He has his plan. He might want to work there for 2-3 months. So that the government is live. Before the last time, you know that. The last condition is that you're going to continue when the Akwa Ibom is dead. I would like to ask a question. Why would Akwa Ibom not be dead? Who has the location of where they put the dead product? Go to Atiku, they put it where the different side at the road, by the roadside. Go to the one at the bottom of the hill, by the APC side. There are some places, there are some abandoned schools, there are some abandoned schools where the community, where the chief. Government can actually go and buy those places and turn those places where the not putting this junction. Look, okay, hello?
I'm with you, parliamentarian.
Don't talk about Atiku will do it by the roadside. Tell me, how would that be not be dirty? Because at the level of the side, how would that not be dirty? All those places, I'm not living to the outside, all those places should not be at the sensitive place. Just for instance, there are some abandoned schools, there are some abandoned land, government land, inside the schools, or inside the schools. They can't.
All right, thank you very much, parliamentarian. The waste issue again being raised there, but we have to be a little bit patient. Let's hope by the end of this week we'll have the respective appointees of government resume the office so we know who to attack or who to channel our questions and concerns to. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Yeah, good morning. Hello?
Good morning, parliamentarian.
Yeah, this is Umo from Eno.
Welcome.
Please, Madam Speaker, permit me to use my land because there's enough of war in Eno right now. Please. So that the state government will hear about what is happening in Eno. Then the Eno will keep on and no one gets on the English Moton. Only Yamaga will keep on Jambo. Then it's your Madam Speaker.
All right, thank you very much. I think we'll just put a call through right away again to the spokesperson of the Nigerian Police Force. Yesterday we did that after the call that came to the floor of the People's Parliament, and of course bordering on the intercommunal crisis and the situations arising from Ipanja that was reported by a parliamentarian. But as soon as we try to connect, we'll bring the police PPRO live so you can tell us what exactly is happening around that axis. But meanwhile, let's take this comment from parliamentarian Umo Eno. Says, good morning, People's Parliament, Mr. Speaker. God bless you and your team for this wonderful work you're doing. On governor's strategy to run all-inclusive governance, I believe it is the best. Allowing the people to decide their peculiar need as it affects them is the best way to go. I just wish he will be able to accept what the people want against what he wanted initially. Subsidy will still continue to be a big issue until government reduces taxes, school fees, provide cheaper means of transportation, and provides free or low-cost medical services. God bless Akwa Ibom State. Well, God bless Nigeria. God bless you too for joining us. Parliamentarian Noyidion says, good morning, parliamentarians. For the Ibom Dialogue Summit, I believe if those in charge will carry out their functions effectively without sentiment and do what is expected of them, then a good result may likely come out. I also believe that the process will need more technocrats who will not be greedy with the development of the state to be among the committees for a better working result. And for the issues of fuel subsidy, please, federal government should look for a better resolution on these very issues because the effect is too alarming to the common Nigerians. That's coming from Parliamentarian Noye Idiong. Many thanks, Parliamentarian Noye Idiong, for joining us and, of course, for your comments. Still on the Facebook page, we have Parliamentarian Sonny Tex Udo says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. NLC to fight federal government is an empty threat. Nothing would happen, believe me or not. Parliamentarian Christian Sunday says, okay. And Nsebong Udo Apan Parliamentarian says, good morning, Mr. Speaker and fellow parliamentarians. Representing the good people of Ibom local government area, I commend the planners of Akwa Ibom Dialogue. We are looking forward to the reality of the event. Make Ibom, Akwa Ibom is our state. We should party, okay, I guess you wanted to say we should shun party affiliation, religion, and tribe and come as one and make the state a better place for all to live in. All right, very much appreciated. Very nice thought pattern there from Parliamentarian Nsebong Udo Akpan. Parliamentarian Henry Was says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. I commend the governor of Akwa Ibom State for the Akwa Ibom Dialogue. You and I know that our problem is not policy formulation, but always implementation. Bringing in former commissioner has a dual consequences. One, the state stands to benefit from their wealth of experiences, if at all there is. Two, it can also bring about complacency as most of them will see it as a business as usual. It should be noted that should the government fail, God forbid, people will not attribute it to the choice of commissioners, but that of Governor Pastor Umo Eno. The governor should take note of that. Thank you. I remain Henry Uwa. All right, thank you very much, Parliamentarian Henry Uwa. We'll take a short pause here again. We'll be heading out for a second recess. BBC The World in 2 minutes is up next. A few more commercials and we'll return to wrap up our conversations on the floor of the People's Parliament. Stay with us.
(896-8395) 0703-803-6732 or 0704-454-6366. Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Welcome back. This is your boy Blaze, and I'm here with Mr. Jason, our social media expert, and he just told us why the COVID-19 vaccines have issues. Mr. Jason, is it possible to... Oh, sorry. Looks like we have a caller. Hello?
My name is Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
My question is to your guest.
Please go ahead.
Where did you get all this information about the COVID-19 vaccine from?
Well, you know, as an influencer with over 500,000 followers, I have access to various blogs and pages.
Wait a minute. From blogs?
Of course.
Another presenter, you you shock, Abi. Mr. Jason, you be doctor. Are those blogs run by the NCDC, WHO, or MPHCDA?
Well, I mean, no, but I mean,
Stop sharing lies about the COVID-19 vaccines. You're putting lives in danger.
Authentic info on the COVID-19 vaccines can be got from the WHO, NCDC, and NPHCDA websites. So, protect yourself, family, friends, and community from COVID-19. Get vaccinated sharply.
Do it for love.
Do it for love.
Do it for love.
Touchdown Thursday with Ibom Air Season 2. Stay in touch for all the latest information and updates on the aviation sector through the eyes of Ibom Air.
Yes, yo.
That's right. Join us every Thursday, 4 to 4:30 p.m. on Touchdown Thursday with Ibom Air, a 30-minute broadcast that updates you about innovations and development, as well as lofty ideals spearheaded by Ibom Air in transforming the aviation industry in Akwa Ibom, Nigeria, and the rest of the world. Touchdown Thursday with Ibom Air Season 2. This program is proudly brought to you by Ibom Air in partnership with TAF Media Group. This is Planet in partnership with the BBC.
Israel are due to join growing protests against the government's judicial reforms. They're going on strike today to take part in the demonstrations. Overnight, there were clashes between police and protesters in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv after Parliament passed a law that limits the powers of the Supreme Court. Evacuation flights are continuing on the Greek island of Rhodes, where intense fires are forcing tourists to leave. The Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis is expected to discuss the extreme weather at a meeting later this morning. A study by an international group of climate scientists says the recent powerful heat waves in Europe and the United States would have been virtually impossible without global warming caused by humans. June was Earth's hottest month on record. A major storm has prompted thousands of people to take shelter in the northern Philippines. Super Typhoon Doksuri is bringing gusts of nearly 300 kilometers an hour. The US has announced sanctions against 3 officials in Mali. Washington accuses them of coordinating the spread of the Russian Wagner mercenary group. The US says civilian casualties have more than tripled since Wagner forces were deployed to Mali nearly 2 years ago. Ukrainian officials say Russia launched more drone attacks on Kiev overnight. The head of the military administration said all the drones were shot down. South Korea's interior minister has been reinstated after a constitutional court ruling in his favor. Lee Sang-min was suspended from duty in February. He'd been impeached after last year's Halloween crowd crush in Seoul, which left nearly 160 people dead. At the Women's Football World Cup, Colombia have won their first match. They beat South Korea 2-0. In the past few minutes, the tournament's co-hosts, New Zealand, have lost to the Philippines. BBC News.
The world in 2 minutes.
Arise, oh, arise. His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno in line.
101.1 FM. We'll head back to the phone lines to take some comments and contributions from parliamentarians. Don't forget, we have 4 motions up for discuss. We started off with the Akwa Ibom State Government and, of course, the Akwa Ibom Dialogue, which is saying is geared towards the development of the state. We also talked about the flag officer Umar Chugali of the Nigerian Navy, who says the Navy will continue to burn vessels ferrying stolen crude oil. And, of course, he stated this is in line with standard operating procedure and in line with extant laws, which has been questioned by Nigerians. And, of course, SSANU NLC, ASUU, NANS Declare willingness to fire federal government over fuel subsidy, while FRSC has recounted high road crashes in first quarter, blame vehicle failures for the statistics. And, of course, if you had joined us earlier, we talked about the first 2 motions, going down to the third motion, number 3. With the build-up to the fuel subsidy removal by the President Ahmed Bola Tinubu's administration, there has been a lot of growing concerns on the part of Nigerians. Shortly after the President announced a paltry sum of 8,000 naira to be sent to 12 million households in Nigeria, and of all the expected ripple effect to 60 million households, we saw the president taking back those words and attempting to review the palliative that should be given to Nigerians. One, on the heels of that, we saw the almost 200% increment in fees of federal institutions in Nigeria to 100,000, from 45 to 100,000 unity schools and colleges. And of course, Nigerians have reacted to that. And then the NLC and SSANU, ASUU, National Association of Nigerian Students, have all claimed they are going to fight the federal government unless this is addressed holistically. Let's hear your thoughts this morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Good morning, parliamentarian. Okay, I think this parliamentarian is not ready to talk to us. When you do, when you're ready to have that conversation, you're free to, call us back on the floor of the People's Parliament. By heading back to our Facebook page, some more comments. On the page, we have parliamentarian Sebang. Okay, this is a repeat comment. We have parliamentarian Samuel Iwell says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. The duty of government is to serve the people and not individuals who care about their stomach alone. The resources of the state and nation belong to all. Thus, anyone who takes it as personal resources are shared within a cartel and group of selected few is not only committing sin against humanity, but against God. Every resource is used wrongly will be accounted for, if not here on earth. It will be done over there in heaven. Nobody should think that he has trickily outsmarted the people. There is God. That's coming from parliamentarian Samuel Iwok. Parliamentarian Bobby MacG says, good morning, Planet FM. I don't think burning the ferry carrying stolen crude oil is a good option. Later, these same people will come and give us report of lost cost of oil. Parliamentarian Hobo Jr. says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Burning of vessels with stolen oil is a strict measure to stop or reduce oil theft. Okay. Parliamentarian, I'd like to ask at this point, I wish you had phoned in through the phone lines, but let's get one thing clear. When you're burning crude oil, whether it's stolen or whatever guys you keep it, it brings further danger to the environment and the people living within that environment. That is one. Two, it further takes away from Nigeria the means of revenue generation. And let's not forget that Nigeria is yet to meet with its OPEC, petroleum quota. And as much as the government of the day have said they're making plans and working seriously to ensure that is done by November, and they actually appeal for an upward review. If we continue to burn, crude oil just because they have been stolen or they have been caught on, stolen of vessels that are not authorized by the government to have been transporting the crude oil outside the shores of the country, we are not just harming the country's revenue, we're not just harming the environment, we're also harming the livelihood of the people. But let's not forget also that as far as the National Assembly is concerned, they have put a pause and have directed the Nigerian Armed Forces to never again burn vessels caught laden with crude oil. So this is a complete violation of the directive of the legislators who by law are the ones responsible for lawmaking. and the executive is supposed to actually enforce that law. Having his personal speak against that is in gross violation of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigerians are hoping that the National Assembly will call to order Umar Chugali on the comment that he has made, and of course have him prosecuted to serve as a deterrent to others, and of course within the ranks and files of the Nigerian Army and other armed forces. But let's head back to the comment section on our Facebook page. Parliamentarian Bro John says, what stops the Akwa Ibom State Governor from bringing the unemployed, underemployed, disabilities, farmers, market women, student body, people living with disabilities and Keke Drivers Association, rather than strictly invite people that are based abroad only to come and explain their history and experiences in total irrelevant? Akwa Ibom State Governor should allow the local government have their autonomy where they can vote. They can be voted by the people through INEC rather than appointing them, thereby incapacitating this third tier of government that is closer to the people at the grassroots. Recycling the same commissioner that can't create impact at the grassroots level is unfortunate, rather than select fresh individuals with new innovatives for economic development in Akwa Ibom State. Pressure groups should start beating harder for the sake of the people that are suffering badly since the removal of fuel subsidy, and they should not sweep sensitive issues under the carpet. Boarding of vessels by the Nigerian Navy is unfortunate, and the National Assembly should look into the matter. Well, many thanks for joining us, Parliamentarian Bro John. Very well said there. The different issues raised. The Nigerian National Assembly has already taken a stand. Now we are waiting to see the reaction that will come from it as a result of the violation, courtesy of the statement made by Rear Flag Officer Umar Chugali of the Nigerian Navy. We're heading back to the phone lines now to continue with our discussion with parliamentarians. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Hello, good morning, parliamentarian. Okay, we lost connection there, but please try and call us back and we'll definitely take on your comment this morning. But moving away from the question of the reaction and protests and what that would mean for Nigeria, which of course Nigerians across board have said in the event that this actually happens, the protests that might be seen in Nigeria will be far worse than the 2020 COVID-19 lockdown and SARS protests. Let's get to the last motion on the floor of the House this morning. And of course, that last motion is focused on road crashes. Now, this morning on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, the Federal Road Safety have said that 4,387 people have been killed in the first 6 months of 2020. And of course, the figure had risen as the second quarter. That is to say, between the first and the second quarter, the figures in the second quarter is higher. And the reason for all of these road crashes and loss of life is over speeding, substandard tires, brake failures has been highlighted as the major causes. So it brings my mind down to Akwa Ibom State. Within the course of last weekend, 3 scenarios that I saw that actually broke my heart. And I'm hoping that Akwa Ibom people, Nigerians in its entirety, get to grow a conscience and grow a heart. It's become a bit of a charade or a bit of a drama that when accident happens, rather than people seek ways to immediately take the accident victims to the nearest hospital for medical attention, people are in a hurry to bring out their phones, take pictures, take videos, make updates on social media of accident scenes when there are human beings like them lying down in the pool of their blood, stuck in the vehicles that have been involved in an accident, just begging for somebody to grow a heart, grow a conscience, have a reasonable mindset to think that these people first and foremost need immediate medical attention, not videos, not pictures, not updates on social media of where accidents are happening. If these updates were directed at the relevant government agency, it would have even been a different entirety story. But people just do this for the fanfare, for the paparazzi of being the first to report. I wonder who did this to us as a country, who did this to us as a state. The first one I witnessed was along Kongwangi, but I saw another one along Kabak Road, and I saw another one just along Calabar Highway yesterday. And I asked myself, why can't we grow a conscience to the point that when we see accidents happening, the very first thing we do is to seek medical attention for those people? A lot of people die when they get involved in motor accidents, in one accident or the other, not because they could not be saved, but because people have grown so cold. People have left the things that should be a priority under such circumstances to look at things that shouldn't be a priority. Why should you take out your phone to video somebody who is dying, who needs prompt medical attention, as against mobilizing people around there to get these people to the nearest, hospital or clinic for medical attention? The road crashes are there. The indices are there. It is always going to grow. And of course, to those who are drivers, there are different avenues for us to do things. If the FRSC has been put in place, let us look at our tires. If you're a driver, be sure to have your vehicle checked regularly to know that, it's roadworthy. Because life is precious, life is priceless. And I'm hoping that we all grow a conscience so that these statistics does not double or triple by the end of the next 6 months. Don't forget the Ember Rush is coming, and unless we look into the things that have been pointed by the FRSC as being responsible for these road crashes, we just might be witnessing a lot more of such, particularly with the rush that people are used and occasioned to. Well, these 4 motions have been on the floor of the House, and we've talked about all 4 of them this morning. We started off with Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umo Eno, who has spoken about the Akwa Ibom Dialogue and the move, and the essence of it being that it is geared towards ensuring development in Akwa Ibom State. And in case you missed out, we also talked about Flag Officer Umar Chugali of the Nigerian Navy, who has said the Navy will continue to burn vessels ferrying stolen crude oil, and has stressed that it is standard operating procedure and in line with extant laws. A discussion or a statement that has been criticized across Nigeria, particularly coming on the heels of the directive by the National Assembly for Nigerian Armed Forces to desist forthwith from burning vessels loaded with stolen crude oil. We also talk about the palliative move, where President Ahmed Bola Tinubu seems to be in no way close to solving the problems of Nigerians as far as the fuel subsidy removal and the move for palliative to cushion the effect is concerned. We've seen some state government coming out to issue directive to help cushion, the subsidy effect on its workers in their respective states. We've seen about 5 states in Nigeria actually moving. We saw Kwara State, we saw Ogun State, Imo State announcing its plans. We also saw Akwa Ibom State government announcing a partnership with SSANU Motors as part of palliative measures. And of course, there have been growing concern with planned strike and protest in the event that the federal government fails to meet with the needs of Nigerians as far as fuel subsidies concerned. And the last motion was FRSC and the road crash, and of course the need for drivers and vehicle owners to inspect the vehicles and ensure that it is actually roadworthy before taking them to the road. And also for you who is a pedestrian, before you do cross the road, before venturing into the road, please be sure to observe the traffic rules and of course look right and left and then look right again before actually crossing. Let's protect and safeguard ourselves. And to you who witnesses an incident, it's about time for you to move away from getting your phones or the frenzy of getting your phones out to record, but rather looking for a way to take these victims to the hospital. Remember, it could happen to you, it could happen to your brother or your sister or someone you truly do care about. So you can still join the conversations. A few minutes left on our Facebook page, Planet Radio 101.1 FM, or your line at www.planet101fm.ng/radio/ and the phone numbers to join the conversation is 0902-223-1011 or 0817-624-565. Hello, good morning, parliamentarian. Welcome to the plenary. Hello, good morning. I'm afraid I have to let you go there. Lost connection there. But of course, this is the People's Parliament. In just about a few more minutes to go, and room for just 2 more calls, and then we'll call it a wrap. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Hello, good morning. Speaker.
Welcome.
Good morning. I'd like to call it to the plenary this morning. I tuned in late, but I want to actually talk on the issue you brought before. Concerning the palliative measures by the Excellency, the government of the day, but at the federal and state level. I feel that is not enough, I tell you, because it's not reaching to the poor. We all know what actually transpired last time
All right, thank you very much, Parliamentarian, for joining us. Truly appreciate that. And heading back to our Facebook page, we have Parliamentarian Hope Umar Jr. says, "Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Burning of vessels with stolen crude oil is a strict measure to stop and reduce oil theft, I believe." Okay, that's coming from Parliamentarian Umar Jr., but that is completely against the rules of engagement. And of course, the National Assembly has been called upon to look into the statement made by the flag officer of the Nigerian Navy, who has said the Navy will continue burning of vessels loaded with stolen crude oil, a move that goes against environment, that goes against revenue generation for Nigeria, a move that is against even having evidence to prosecute those fingered as being involved in the practice of oil theft. And many have said the statement of the flag officer Umar Chugali lines itself to the statement made by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, His Excellency Peter Obi, when he said, for oil theft to actually happen in Nigeria, there is high collaboration within the ranks and file of the Nigerian Navy, who is saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding our waterways, and of course other security agencies in Nigeria who are part of the task force to maintain territorial sovereignty as far as the waterways is concerned. In the light of this, Nigerians are calling on the National Assembly to actually weigh into the matter, not just about making directive to the relevant security agencies, which of course, by the statement of Officer Umar Chugali, there is every indication that these armed forces will not obey the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria or the directive issued by the National Assembly as far as vessels laden with oil allegedly stolen from Nigeria is concerned. But let's go back to our Facebook page for one more comment before we wrap up on the floor of the People's Parliament this morning. Well, Parliamentarian Simon says, good morning, Mr. Speaker of the People's Parliament. I'd like to believe that NLC is fighting a good cause, and in the instance that they are serious, in line with other organizations that have also indicated interest, they should be able to hold government accountable to deliver true dividends of democracy and provide better palliative options for Nigerians. In Akwa Ibom State, I am hoping that the governor will do more than just talks, but will implement whatever comes at the end of the Akwa Ibom Dialogue. All right, many thanks for joining us, and that's the size of the comments we can take on our Facebook page. Well, today, this morning, the 25th day of the month of July 2023, it's been a wonderful time being here with you, parliamentarians. I'd like to appreciate you who dropped your comment on our Facebook page, you who listened online, and of course, who joined us also via our Facebook page and through the phone lines. Truly appreciate your contributions. Akwa Ibom is our state, Nigeria is our country. We all owe it to ourselves to do our own part of due diligence. And of course, on the issues raised, I know that the Akwa Ibom State Governor so far has been branded as a listening governor who seems to understand and pay attention to what the people are saying. Well, all of those have been made available regardless of what the expected the anticipated expectations are. We would have to wait and see what the experts will come up with, and of course what that would mean for the policy statement to guide the rise agenda of the Pastor Umo Eno-led administration. And then, of course, we know that the governor has 4 years before the expiration of his first tenure, and then we'll begin to count and score. That's not to say that we would not be engaging the government and the governor of Akwa Ibom State as the day progresses and, of course, as the administrations unfolds. At the national level, Nigerians are expecting the ministerial list of Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who before now has said he had always been preparing himself to lead the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which, of course, many have said by the delay in his ministerial appointment, a list being sent to the National Assembly, it seems Ahmed Bola Tinubu was not ready to lead Nigeria. But we keep our fingers crossed, we keep praying for our country and our state, we keep praying for our leaders, and we keep hoping for the best to happen. Francis Oyima Edet is my name. Wishing you a lovely Tuesday experience. God bless Akwa Ibom State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and God bless you. From me to you is bye-bye.